Welcome to the watch party for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. And Lucas Oil Products is pledging to donate 100,000 meals through the No Kid Hungry organization, helping struggling families. Because as schools shut their doors in response to COVID-19, a lot of kids are left without high-quality meals that would normally be provided by school. So Lucas Oil will donate meals, and all you have to do to help is share the official campaign post. You'll find it on Lucas Oil's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So Lucas Oil will donate one meal for each person that shares the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family over social media. Again, share the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family on social media, and up to 100,000 meals will be donated through the No Kid Hungry organization. You can find Lucas Oil on Facebook at official Lucas Oil, Twitter at Lucas_oil, and Instagram at Lucas Oil Products.
In the 40-year history of American motocross, it seems history often gets made at Unadilla. In the midst of their historic championship run, one of these three Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders will claim the title. Scotland's Dean Wilson is the points leader. South African Tyler Rattray has a world championship pedigree. And American Blake Baggett is the lightning-fast rookie looking to upset his older teammates. The gate is set to drop on round 9 of the 2011 Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. History will be made again.
We're in upstate New York for round 9 of the 2011 Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. It's the Rockstar Energy Drink, Unadilla National. We've already had a great first moto complete earlier in the day here in the 250 class, and we'll show you the highlights of that to set the scene for our second moto that'll be coming up in just a moment. Riders battling for position, bumping, banging off the start. It's one of the Yamahas of Gareth Swanepoel, gonna grab the whole shot, but he's got a bunch of Kawasaki's right with him, including the 15 of Dean Wilson, also the number 125 of Marvin Musquian. But it is Wilson who's going to secure second, and then before long, he would go for the lead on Swanepoel. Your series points leader is looking for victory, while his teammate, Blake Baggett, goes down and loses precious ground early. Here's Wilson going for the lead on Swanepoel. Carries the momentum around the outside. That leads him to the inside of the next section, and he's got the number 1 spot.
That would give Wilson a clean track to put in some hot laps, but it was his teammate Blake Baggett making the move on the rookie Justin Bogle, trying to work his way back up into the top 3.
So he would be third and now up to second as he gets around Swanepoel. They almost come together, and Baggett is just able to hold off the 387. But no chance of catching Wilson, who was flying throughout this moto. Baggett would finish second after the crash, and his teammate Tyler Rattray went down as well, but he would mount a come-from-behind charge and ultimately finish in third. Here are your results of the 250 moto. Number 1, and Tomac and the rookie Bogle, 5th and 6th. Musquian, Cunningham, Seeley, and Alex Martin round out the top 10. So no change. It's still 3 Kawasaki riders dominating this thing. And after the moto, Dean Wilson talked to our Aaron Bates.
It was a late race charge for Dean Wilson, but Dean, on the off season, or pardon me, on the off couple of weeks, you actually rode with Chad Reed. How much did that help you, and what was the biggest words of advice that the former champion could give you?
I think it was really good for me. I mean, just going down there in the heat in Florida is something else. I mean, I don't even feel like, usually I'm kind of dying a little bit after my race, but no, I mean, it was really good going down there. He helped me a lot, you know. He told me, get after it right from the beginning, you know, and I kind of sometimes pace myself so I can be strong at the end, and you know, that's something Blake's good at. You know, he's fast at any time of the race, and so I just went from the beginning, and you know, I really want to win, and I felt like I showed it that out there. You know, I just tried my best. You know, Blake got by me, then I got him back, and yeah, it was a good race for me. I'm really happy and pumped for my buddy Justin Bogle. He pulled out a 6, so that was cool.
And that was your Progressive pre-race report. So let's set the big picture storylines up for this second moto about to get underway. First of all, at Unadilla, horsepower rules, especially on a 250.
Well, up some of these hills, if you don't execute the turn properly and keep your momentum going, horsepower can save you.
Dean Wilson needs an overall win. He's won plenty of motos. He's leading the series standings, but he is yet to be the overall winner at the end of any given weekend. Could today be the day, Jeff?
Yeah, Wilson now has 6 moto wins, but no overall, and he is the points leader.
But he did win the first moto today, so if he can repeat that performance, he will be your overall winner. You got to put in 2 consistent performances to win overall in motocross. There is Wilson surveying the track as we prepare for moto number 2. Jason Wygant, Jeff Emig, and Aaron Bates, of course, are going to be here as your hosts for this second moto. You think Wilson's style works for Unadilla?
It does. This tall stature that he has, but I tell you, Baggett has 5 overall wins, Rattray 3. Wilson's got the points lead, but no overall wins. So there's a bit of bragging rights there. You go in the record books for overall wins. Of course, at the end of the season, if he is the champion, he's not going to worry about the overall wins. But right now, if you win the overall, it means that you have received the most points, earned the most points for the day. That's the focus.
Yeah, exactly. He wants maximum points, and if he does that, he also gets the overall win, the bonus, the accolades that come with it. So we're going to be watching the number 15 today.
Through 8 rounds, no one has been able to tame the Kawasaki trio of Wilson, Rattray, and Baggett. Can these riders dodge the roots and conquer historic Unadilla? We are ready to drop the gate and find out. Jason, Jeff, and Aaron will have all the action when the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship returns.
Welcome back. Nearly 30,000 fans on hand here at Unadilla to watch some motocross racing, and here's how it works. This is our 250 class. That means 250cc engines. They will each run 2 motos with 40 riders in each, and each race lasts 30 minutes and 2 laps. We already completed Moto 1. Dean Wilson won it. We will combine the scores from those 2 races to determine an overall winner for the day. Now, after that first moto is complete, that means there's been a bit of a shakeup in the series standings. Dean Wilson, by taking the win, has extended his points lead by just a bit. Tyler Rattray and Blake Baggett, his teammates, are still second and third, but Rattray goes from 13 points back to now 18. But it's still anyone's championship between those 3 Pro Circuit Kawasaki riders. For more on them, check this out.
I think everyone at Pro Circuit works really hard. As you can see, they've won a lot of championships. We're sitting 1, 2, 3 in the points. We're all racing for the championship, so I think it's going to be a good series for sure.
Our goal is to win every race. We all put our time in to achieve our goals, and we just maybe want it more than most people, and I think that's what separates this team from other teams.
Yeah, I definitely have to say that we're friends with my teammates. You know, we're not enemies by all means. Racing's racing, and we all have to race each other, so that kind of puts the friends part out of that.
Yeah, you know, it's tough. You know, Mitch wants all of us to do good, and only one of us can win.
We're on the same equipment. You know, everything's the same. I have to go to the gym a lot, you know. I ride a lot. I think I ride more than most of the people on my team. That's just the little part that's going to separate you, is by working hard and focusing. And, you know, my focus is obviously to win the championship.
I would definitely like to win it, you know. I've been working hard this year, and I'm in great physical shape, you know, working with Alden and really lifting my level in my training. So, yeah, hopefully at Paula I'll have the red plate.
I know that they really don't have an advantage on me because we're on the same bike. You know, it just comes down to personally what we have and what we can do. And yeah, we're teammates under the semi and everything, and we're all cool. You know, nobody has any problems with each other. But when it comes to racing, you know, I want to beat them just as bad as they want to beat me. And it's just all about heart and how deep you can dig some weekends.
Well, never before has one team won every single moto through the 24 races in this class, and that team is on the verge of doing that right now. Show you the track map brought to you by Kawasaki and the 2012 KX450F, fully equipped and race ready.
Let's take a look at this start here. Nice, deep, loamy first turn area through the Makita Mechanics area. Go through a couple of turns, a new section. Of course, the gravity cavity there over the Lucas Oil finish line jump. Now track tightens up a little bit. And then you get to the back section where it really starts to open up. And this Toyota Trucks area, this step-ups, this last double up is going to be tough for the 250s here today. Track at this point really chewed up over that Rockstar's Sky Shot. Of course, the downhill, the wall, they call it. And that's a lap here at Unadilla. On board here, our GoPro with Gareth Swanepoel, DNA Shred Sticks Yamaha. Earlier today in qualifying practice when the track was nice and smooth. a little bit deep and loamy and muddy in spots. Track's going to be quite a bit different here for Moto 2 as it will dry it up quite a bit. It's going to be a lot more rocky. A lot of the rocks will come to the top, and it's going to be a really hard pack. So you can see right here as get through some of those deep sections, negotiating the ruts and these long lines here are going to be key here for Moto 2 to carry your momentum through there.
They got some new blood in this series. We're going to show you the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com keys to the race for the rookie, the 891 Justin Bogle. This is his first pro race, Jeff.
Fantastic moto, was up inside the top 3 for most of the moto, finishes a 6th. Don't crash, finish the race, get the experience, and put in your best effort. Try to get in another top 5, even the top 10, and enjoy this day because you only have one race as being your first time.
Jeff, that is magical stuff you've come up with there.
It's brilliant. I work all week long on this stuff.
Well, I know what you're saying. You want to do all 30 minutes. You don't want to crash out because every minute he's out on this track, he's going to learn something, I would assume, racing against the pro riders now.
Yeah, and to get the feeling for what both motos are like. He's used to racing 20-minute, 15, 20-minute amateur motos. Now he's got 2 35-minute motos in one day.
It's going to be tough on him and everyone else as we get ready for the second moto here at Unadilla. And a bunch of Hondas up front in a pack. And I think it's Bogle who's leading him around. No, it's the 66 of James Dakotas. Dakotas and Bogle making their outdoor debut for that team right here. Dakotas was out with an elbow injury for quite some time, and he's back in action with the lead, leading Wilson, Kyle Cunningham on the 35.
Well, let's find out where our championship leaders are. Dean Wilson was second off that start, and it was so close. Oh, and Wilson almost goes down. Ooh.
That could have ruined everything. There's Bogle, had the good start. He's up to third. He makes the move on Cunningham.
How about these Hondas right here?
Yeah. Wow, that is very impressive. Now, you see the track facts there. The first AMA event at this track was in '89. Up until then, this track hosted the United States Motocross Grand Prix. So the track dates back to the late 60s, has been part of this tour since the late 80s. Either way, pretty much anyone who's anyone in motocross has log laps on this rough racetrack.
So, Baggett and Rattray, who Dean Wilson is battling in this championship, both of those riders have started outside the top 10, but in Moto 1, both riders went down and still managed to work their way into the top 3. So we're going to see how this moto plays out.
Well, yeah, the man in the best position right now is Wilson in second, or maybe your leader, Dakotas. That's a good position to be in. Look at Bogle. The kid is going after your championship leader.
Boy, what a moment that would be. Bogle coming in here with high hopes, big expectations, and he certainly is qualified. And I'll say it again, when a rider like Bogle can come through and run inside the top 5, the top 10, and run the pace of the leaders, it really shows you what the American motocross amateur motocross system.
Oh, that's Tyler Rattray down and in a bad spot. And I'm not sure if he's hurt or if the bike is banged up or what, but he is not in a hurry to get back into this one.
Almost looks like he's favoring his right leg, right foot, but he's not reacting too quickly here. Might have bumped his head, knocked the wind out of himself, maybe a combination of all of that, but championship points and all that really slipping away with a crash like that.
Well, how about Dakota's kid out of New England? He is actually a replacement rider on this team, the injured Blake Wharton, who missed his entire summer with a shoulder injury, but Dakota's missed most of the summer as well with that elbow problem. But he is back in a big way right now. He's going to lead the first lap at Unadilla with Wilson right behind him. Then it's Bogle, then it's Tomac. What'd you say about those Hondas, man? They are up front.
Yeah, and I'm gonna watch Jimmy D here pretty close because I made a comment to him after watching qualifying practice, a recommendation with his technique, and hay bale cover coming off, and personally I want to see if he's going to correct it.
Free of charge?
Yeah, what's interesting is we talked about it, he's all, I felt the same thing, and that was how he puts his foot down on the inside of the turn. He had a tendency to hit his foot on the dirt instead of just carry it above the dirt, and it was kind of offsetting his technique. So,
all right, well, you got the best seat in the house to watch him. He's the student now, and Wilson's going to school on him also. He's studying the lines of Dakotas and trying to figure out how to make a pass.
Nice right there. I'm liking what I'm seeing, but he's got heavy pressure by Dean Wilson.
Wilson on the inside, headed this uphill. He's got a couple more obstacles, though, to get through, and that slowed him up.
That is so cool, that line that Dakotas took. He's way on the outside. Now that's dried up. Uh-oh.
Oh, he just got past, and I believe he just stabbed his foot. You got to listen to Fro. So Dean Wilson has taken the lead over the big sky shot jump, and that's bad news if you're Tyler Rattray, Blake Baggett, or anyone else challenging for the title. Look at that. Dakotas almost got it back.
I love it. He's fired up here. You know, when you get the whole shot, you got to make the most of it.
He's doing his best. And you got the two teammates, Tomac and Bogle, battling as well for third and fourth. But they're all behind Dean Wilson right now.
Well, this is exactly what Dean Wilson ordered from the doctor was give me a great start, give me a little bit of breathing room on my teammates. And
the teammates are in the same corner at the same time, matching bikes, matching gear. Dean Wilson is going to let those guys battle, and he's going to try to get away. Lots of action here at Unadilla. That's the Traxxas RC car setup. You can take a test drive and see just how fun, and also might add how durable these products are. We'll be right back after this as Wilson tries to get away from Dakotas. Awesome battle here for the #2 spot in this second 250 class moto. This is the rider who has gotten it now. The 19 of Eli Tomac had to fight, scratch, claw his way past the 891 of Justin Bogle, had to hold off the 35 of Kyle Cunningham, and you also have Jimmy Dakotas, who had the whole shot in the early lead in this one.
Yeah, Dakotas lost a few positions here on this lap. Things starting to happen pretty quickly for him right now, but made the most on that really good start.
Aaron, what are you hearing on the 66?
Actually, guys, it's regarding the number 66 teammate Eli Tomac. He said coming in here, a little time off was exactly what he needed. He feels refreshed and his confidence is soaring. It's those starts that have been slowing him down, but today so far off to a good start. Made a couple of bike modifications in between motos as well. Stiffer suspension. He said it's going to help a lot. In this track, there's a lot of different line choices to make a pass on.
Yeah, all those changes have definitely paid off for him right now. As far as Dakotas is concerned, we'll tell you what's up with him. He's about to get zapped by the 23 of Davalos. Dakotas able to hold him off, and look who's coming, the 57, Blake Baggett. Is that El Chupacabra about to strike on these two?
I didn't think you could find the Chupacabra in these parts of the country, but
he's got flights.
Out of the woods.
They got a Kawasaki Semi to bring him into the races. And Davalos, tried to stuff it inside, and Dakotas couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, and he got too far to the inside. You notice he almost went down right there. Took a chance. Luckily, kept it on two wheels.
And Davalos going to try it again. Neither rider able to clear that. As we go back, here's your battle of Tomac trying to get around Bogle.
Yeah, watch this Tomac up around the top here on the outside. That's really the mid part of the turn is where he made the move. Exits the turn, taking the position.
All right, so that's what put Tomac into second. Behind him, it's still crazy. It's Bogle third, then Cunningham, and then all these riders. Davalos, Dakotas. Here comes Baggett, and Baggett makes the move. How hard did Dakotas go on that opening lap? Did he go too hard?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been off a bunch, so to be up to race pace, and this is the second moto, I believe Jimmy D there is he put in about the effort that he has. Now he's thinking, okay, I've ran inside the top, I've ran up front, top 3. I want to run inside the top 10 for this moto. I need to mellow out and find a comfortable pace, because obviously what the pace of the leaders is right now, he is not comfortable running that.
And behind him, you would have Jason Anderson coming up next in the 156. So we'll see if Dakotas can stay where he is or if he's going to have more battles on his hand before it's over. He's got a pretty good gap built up. So let's talk about Baggett. Second in the first moto. He's going to have to fight if he wants to get the second in this one. A couple of fast riders in front of him. Davalos, he has always had speed. And Bogle's been tough today. And Tomac, as Aaron was alluding to, seems to be straightening things out after a rough beginning of the year.
Yeah, but look right here, the 156 of Anderson, and even followed by his teammate, Nick Paluzzi. This is a team that's had some up and down finishes this year, and it was interesting with Anderson. He started training with a new trainer, Randy Lawrence, trying to figure things out, and now here, looks like it's starting to work for him. 8th here in this moto so far, and closing in on a couple other riders.
All the talk that we had about Bogle being the big rookie here, Anderson was the big amateur last year, so we're waiting for him to strike.
Was that
Wednesday night on
Horizon?
Speed. Don't miss an all-new episode of Dumbest Stuff on Wheels. The most outrageous and downright stupidest situations, crashes, and mishaps ever caught on video. This is seriously funny stuff. So watch Dumbest Stuff on Wheels Wednesday night at 8 Eastern on Speed.
You've watched those, right? It's unbelievable. I mean,
I'm afraid I'm going to
it's
end
awesome.
up on there if anyone ever gets one of those GoPros out there when I'm riding my dirt bike. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm almost afraid to watch. I mean, I've done some dumb stuff on wheels, I can tell you that. Here's a battle for third. We thought Bogle might be able to stick with his teammate Tomac. Instead, he's got company from the man who has become Mr. Fourth Place as of late, Kyle Cunningham. Can he get to third? Can he get around Bogle? Here we go.
And he's going to take a shot. He's got a lot of momentum. I'm not sure he's going to get the Yamaha stopped.
Oh, barely.
Well, he can get it stopped, but whether or not he hits the Honda of Bogle was going to be the question.
And Bogle able to maintain that third place spot for how long? They've dropped back quite a bit right now on Tomac. You don't see the 19 in front of them, so it is a private duel, one-on-one for this third place spot.
Bogle, a little bit of breathing room right there as they come up over the wall. Things were tight, and then cleaned up his lines, cleaned up his turn. But Cunningham, he has been really persistent this year. His fitness has been there. This Yamaha team has really got it together, backed by North County Yamaha and DNA shred sticks, all that. So this team, I mean, I talk about him. I think this whole season so far has been a really positive season for them. And so not only are you looking for the results this year, but you're looking to build your squad for next year. Better results, have a chance to get better riders, and then be up there to challenge for the win.
You see Bogle there, says AMA Horizon Award winner. That's the award the AMA gives out at the Loretta Lynn Amateur National Championship for the rider they think shows the most promise heading into the pros. And right behind Cunningham is the rider that won that award last year, as I was alluding to, Jason Anderson. So a lot of young talent in the ranks.
Look at these lines here. These riders are, it's a right-hand turn, and there's a point right there where Dakota's went through that he was turning right, had to go back left, and then turn right again. Track is, it is tough right now. This is the type of track that if you went out and if you walked it after the race was over, you would just be blown away at watching it, and these guys are making it look easy at times. Some guys make it look really hard, but they make it look easy, and then you go out there and walk, and you go, I cannot believe that they were riding this pace so easy.
Yeah, Bogle doesn't look rattled at all. He's running top three. First race ever as a pro. Riding like he belongs there. Hey, it's Bob Hanna's old bike. Back in '86, got the poison link on that thing. Looks good. Stay with us. Well, you know when you're watching the 250 class of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, there's going to be a battle. And we've got one right now. You got four riders based in the same part of the track. Kyle Cunningham, Martin Davalos, Blake Baggett, even Nick Paluzzi not too far behind them. And look at the 35 of Cunningham trying to get by Justin Bogle. He wants third. Bogle has it.
Bogle taking a look there at his pit board. No doubt it's some encouraging words, possibly his lap times. But right now, he's got a lot of pressure. It's been a couple laps with Kyle Cunningham just breathing down his neck. And that type of pressure is so distracting. And that's one of the things that makes great riders better than other riders, the ability to deal with that sort of stress and that pressure from behind.
Well, before the race, he gave us the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com keys of the race for Bogle. How's he doing?
Yeah, he was 6th in Moto 1. He's 3rd now.
Okay.
Definitely building on that. So far, he hasn't crashed. I don't know if he's enjoying the day at the moment because it's probably pretty stressful and very physically demanding for him right now. So the body's probably hurting a little bit, but his passion for the sport, his determination, and his will to be a professional here just helps him block all that out. It balances out and makes it all worth it.
Here comes Cunningham down the inside. Wow. I don't even know if Cunningham got to the rut. Bogle was in it. Somehow Cunningham maintained enough speed to stay close.
Hey, Bogle did not back off one bit.
No.
I know he hurt him there, but he's staying right in it. This outside's been a little quicker. Let's see Cunningham. Yeah, see, he has a hard time doing that last step-up double. Once again, going to give Bogle a little bit of breathing room. But how hard is Kyle Cunningham working right now?
Yeah, he is taking on basically all this loose rocks just being spit off that back wheel of Bogle. He's trying to ignore that. This section, we've seen a lot of passes. Cunningham on the outside, Jeff.
Wow, and they smoothed out this double, so the takeoff for that is much better. The inside is a really good line through there.
And Cunningham going to try again. We're going to drop downhill, left hand, U-turn, and then the wall. Who gets the drive to the top of this hill?
And then the Chupacabra, is now made his way past Paluzzi, or no, I'm sorry, Davalos. Paluzzi's just behind this group.
Yeah, we've lost Jason Anderson in this battle. He had a big crash. He went back to 17th, so he's no longer in this group. But you still got Bogle, Cunningham, Baggett, Davalos fighting for it.
Yeah, and Dakotas is back to 10th, and Martin and Stewart are up to 8th and 9th.
And Aaron, what'd you hear about Blake Baggett from earlier in the day?
Justin Bogle might be impressing everybody, but Blake Baggett was somebody that he did not impress during Moto #1. If you remember, it got pretty close for comfort out there, and when I asked Blake what his take on it, he said he did not appreciate how he tried to run them both off the track. He said he understands he's a rookie, he wants to come in and make a statement. However, there's a championship on the line, and he's not about to jeopardize that. It seems as though Justin Bogle is not intimidated at all of these guys.
How do you call that, Jeff?
That was pretty close. That was good hard racing. They didn't even touch right there. You know,
they almost touched there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Bogle and Cunningham and Baggett right behind him.
I mean, I think that you have a tendency when you are in the championship battle.
Cunningham takes the spot. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, there it is. Bogle's going back by. Woo! When you're in the championship battle, you have a tendency to think that everybody should just kind of, stay away from you. But it's not that way. You have to earn it from every rider out there.
Well, he's going to have to earn it because Cunningham and Bogle are giving it everything they have, and they're going to pass each other again.
Look at Bogle.
Woo! Bogle back to third. That's twice that he and Cunningham have gone back and forth. Let's make it a third time.
Here it is. This outside's a little quicker. Cunningham. Oh, he stretches it out, gets a little bounce, as does Bogle.
Now, Cunningham around the outside. That line has worked a couple of times today, and it does. Cunningham takes the spot by Bogle. Will he make it stick? And here comes Baggett right with it.
Wow, that outside was way faster, worth about 5 bike lengths.
Wow, and Baggett's going to try to make it stick to the same spot that we just saw. He and Bogle battled in Moto 1. This time, Bogle not able to challenge him. So Cunningham up to third. I'm telling you, this kid has got to be sick of being in fourth place. But just the moment he gets into third, he's got Blake Baggett behind him.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting little battle here because both these riders are fit. They've been strong all season long. And I look for Cunningham to be really stingy here if Baggett tries to make the pass on him. Cunningham's racing hard right now.
Yeah, and even if Baggett's able to get around Cunningham, and that's no guarantee, he's got a long way to go to catch up to Tomac or his teammate Wilson. Tomac riding well. They've got a big lead on this battle for third. And Cunningham, man, he is sick of looking at the back of those monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki's. He wants to finish in front of at least one of them here, and he's going to do everything he can to hold off Baggett.
So our leaders, Wilson and Tomac, both turned some 211s, like that mid 211. And Cunningham comes by with a 214, as does Baggett.
All right, get a cold drink, try to relax, get ready for what should be an exciting finish here at Unadilla. Oh, Blake Baggett and Kyle Cunningham still duking it out. They were battling as we went to commercial. Oh, and Baggett, how did he not fall? He had both feet off the pegs on the bottom of that U-turn. Somehow maintained his balance.
Unbelievable racing here. This is the battle for third place. And more importantly for Blake Baggett, it's valuable championship points because the points leader is out front, wheeling away.
Wow. Wednesday night on Speed, 4 car fanatics face off in the wildest car competition ever. So don't miss an all-new episode of My Ride Rules, Wednesday night, 9 Eastern, exclusively on Speed. Well, an exchange of mistakes there for Baggett and Cunningham, and I guess Cunningham's mistake was bigger. Baggett made the pass.
Yeah, Baggett made the pass. Now, this is going to give him a bit of a clearer track. They are 23 seconds behind the leader, which puts them about 17 behind second, which is Eli Tomac. Wilson's out front, and they're turning at 214, 216, and the leaders are at 211 and 212. So Chupacabra here is going to have, or is it El Chupacabra?
I guess L.
Okay,
I guess L, yeah.
Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah.
My Spanish is not good.
I came up with this.
He's got some work to do right here, and he has to keep pushing all the way to the end. He's got 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes, plus 2 laps.
Well, here's why Baggett is such a hole to climb out of. Nowhere near the front here as you see our progressive hole shot replay.
Well, it's really tight there, and he gets squeezed off on the left side there, and he's pretty far back, probably mid-pack as they come through the first turn.
And a bunch of Hondas up front there, Jeff. Look at the red fenders.
Yeah, it was so close across the line, and look at this. That looked like Jimmy Dakotas was actually off the track in the first turn, but what he was not off was the throttle. He just kept it pinned.
All right, here's Wilson and Tomac trying to keep him honest. They have been matching lap time to lap time. Wilson just ran a 2:11.8 and Tomac a 2:12.0, so 0.2 of a second faster Wilson that last time around. The gap has been basically between 4.5 and 5 seconds for most of this race.
Yeah, but both of these rides have been equally impressive for both riders because Tomac's kind of been off the back pace a little bit of the leaders the last month or so. So, like Aaron spoke about earlier, is that the couple weeks off, Tomac rested some, came back, with his energy levels up, rejuvenated, a fresh mindset. Same thing with Wilson. Switched up his training program, went down to Chad Reed's track and everything down there, been spending time with him. His starts obviously have been a key factor here today, and the bad starts by his championship contenders have been a key start because really they haven't even seen him.
And a little mistake there in this right-hand turn, Jeff. Take us through this.
Yeah, watch as he comes in here. Nice, comfortable lead. Front wheel's going to push out just a little bit. Let's see if he hits a rock. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Rear wheel scoots out on him, which is one of the characteristics of this track is that there's not a lot of integrity to the berms at times. When they look good, and then they just kind of wash out. But keeps it on two wheels. No doubt them long legs played a part there as being a crutch, right?
But we do have to apologize. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the ruts and how Wilson, being a taller rider, would probably wear bigger feet, bigger boots. But he said he's getting the info. Size 9.
I think if you're an 8 or a 9 is the perfect size boot. I think you start getting up there, right? So
yeah, the issue is they're trying to not hit that toe. Those toes caught in a rut. Whoa, he's feeling it right now.
I love that. That was awesome. That was like practice day style right there. But that just tells me that he's dialed in right now. Things are good. I mean, he looks great on the bike, and no doubt this is going to be a confidence booster. Remember how last few races I keep talking about that, what I think an overall win, and granted he's still got 3 minutes plus 2 laps left to go, but if he can win the overall, change the whole mindset, the whole confidence level will come up for Dean Wilson. And this has been a pretty good day so far. He just needs to keep that Kawasaki on 2 wheels, and he'll have the first OA of the year for him.
And Tomac had a bad lap there. He went down to a 2:14. Wilson still with a 2:12. So Wilson opening it up. And we've been talking all day about roost out here at this Unadilla track. Aaron, explain what this is, even if it hurts. Explain how this works.
Well, it's pretty obvious when you say a chest protector. Well, it does exactly that. It protects your chest from rocks if you're being roosted on it. It's a very thin, very light plastic form-fitted to the body. You'll also notice things like this. Some of the guys run hand guards, and so the rocks don't hit their knuckles. It's easier for them to hold on. You'll notice a lot of guys don't use the hand guards, though, and they say it just seems awkward when they look down to look at them. So some of the things that these guys do for body armor to protect themselves here from the rocks of Unadilla.
Great report, Aaron, and I can tell you that those hand guards, they may look a little awkward, but not as bad if you have broken knuckles. That's even more awkward in my book. Now back
you should see the other guy. That's what I say when I have broken knuckles.
Well, back in the day when this track was first around, there wasn't a lot of hand guards and stuff like that. Everybody put all of the protection was actually on the glove. Now the trend is to have no protection on the glove so that your hand moves freely and the glove's more comfortable. Protection off the handguard.
Or you just ride like Dean Wilson, get out front and don't have anybody to roost you. That's one way to do it. Stay with us. Dean Wilson putting the finishing touches on a 1-1 Moto sweep. He won the first Moto earlier today. He has led the majority here of Moto number 2, and he's looking at his first victory of the year, and he'll extend that championship points lead. That's why he has that red number plate on his bike. He is your series leader.
And even though Wilson has had the points lead, in the last few races, we've actually seen him, be pretty frustrated leaving the event.
Yeah.
He's tied for the overall and not won, and he's had some good races, bad races, managed to keep the red plate. today is going to be all positive. It's going to be a huge confidence booster for him. And it just, you know, that first Moto podium interview, I just seen a real spark. And, you know, he's got to be happy about the way things are shaping up. And I do think that his starts have played a key point in this and setting you know, the stage here for these good rides.
Big gap now back to Tomac, who was challenging Wilson at the 20-minute mark in this moto, but he has lost pace just a little bit down the stretch here. Still a good ride for Tomac, who a lot of people thought was a favorite for this championship when the year began. He's definitely had some rough moments, and just rebuilding the program at this point, looking for podiums.
Yeah, and Tomac, so much of the year, it looked like that he was struggling and he was just a little flat. He mentioned that during the two-weekend break that we had, that he took some time off, and it's obvious that he's came back with a new attitude. His energy levels are up, he's rejuvenated, and all day today, I think that he's rode with more confidence, more you know, aggression than what I've seen him ride really this whole summer.
Well, he's got to take over the leadership role of that team, because Justin Barsha, who was on the Geico Honda 250 team, is now racing a 450. Did a great job in that class a little earlier today. So Tomac trying to take the reins now as the point man on that squad, and he beat everybody but this man, Dean Wilson, who really one of the most fun riders to talk to in the sport. Real great personality on him, always has a good time, always smiling, but he'll probably have a little extra, as you said, spark when this one's over.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And as he comes up to the sky shot here, let's see what sort of whip the 15's going to throw out for us.
And a good one earlier in the day. Yeah! That's even better.
Yeah, phone in your results for that one. That was nice. And, you know, Mitch Payton there.
Analyzing the whip. Are they scoring that? Texting in their vote. Here it is, right-hand turn. They're going to drop down. This is one of the most treacherous obstacles out here. It has claimed a lot of riders. It's scary to go through there in the lead in the last lap. It could all go aside right here.
PJ Larson there on that J-Star KTM, running 20th at the moment. So Wilson now on the final lap is lapped up into the top 20, and he's just been flawless, even with the starts, having to work his way past other riders. Put on that effort, got the lead.
And that is his mechanic pump, Paul Parabinos, a former pro racer in his own right. They're happy they got the win, they've got confidence. Maybe a little bit of boot camp down at Chad Reed's house in Florida for a few weeks has paid off.
And he got a little bit of help. His teammates faltered today, made some mistakes. Baggett's third in this one, but Rattray pretty far back.
A big turnaround in the series as Dean Wilson comes in with a points lead and extends it by going 1-1 at Unadilla. And he is happy. This was the race he's been waiting all season long for. He's trying to grab this championship, put the clamps down on the rest of the competition. A lot of people talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame up in upstate New York. However, the International Boxing Hall of Fame calls the state home as well. Some of the pioneers honored here include Muhammad Ali, Rocky Graciano, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Rocky himself, Sylvester Stallone. They've got the original ring from Madison Square Garden there. And this is really cool. They have fist casts from dozens of great boxing champions. So check that out in nearby Canastota, New York. Only costs $10 to get in. It's my kind of deal. Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship from Unadilla. We'll give you the race recap of the 250 class. And Lucas Oil bringing you this action here. Good start for Dean Wilson going after your early leader, the 66 of Jimmy Dakotas. Here's your battle.
Just right around the outside. That outside has been the hotline all day long, and Wilson would not look back.
Battle is on between a bunch of Honda riders. Eli Tomac going after Justin Bogle, trying to move into the runner-up spot. He makes the pass around the outside. There's Dakotas and Kyle Cunningham right behind them. But as all those riders fought and scratched and clawed their way, one little mistake from Dean Wilson, otherwise a flawless race. He wins both motos today. That's his first overall win of the year, extends his points lead. Everything coming up, roses for the number 15, and he gets to talk to Aaron Bates on the podium. Aaron?
That overall has eluded him this entire season. Dean, you were frustrated beyond belief. You have finally conquered what you had set out to do. What does this moment mean?
Oh, it means so much. I mean, we got 3 rounds to go, and finally got my first overall, and I went 1-1, you know, and I may be more excited more than, you know, Blake or anybody else has went 1-1, but you know, I've been in the points lead and haven't had an overall win, so it's been tough, and finally swept off my shoulders and got it done. So I'd just like to thank everybody, Monster Energy, Pool Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Dunlop, my mom for coming, Vulcan Bands, Mechanic Paul did a great job on my bike, Chad and Michael Byrne for helping me out. You know, I really appreciate their help, and you know, my dad watching at home and everybody watching me. Thank you.
Congratulations and enjoy your week off.
Wednesday night car show with Adam Carolla is all new, and Adam's going to pit the Corvette ZR1 against a Mercedes SLS in a supercar showdown. Don't miss car show Wednesday night, 10 Eastern, only on Speed. Here's the Toyota upcoming schedule. Dean Wilson mentioned only 3 races to go. We'll have 1 weekend off, and then it's the stretch run of Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship Racing. We'll go to the MX 338 facility in Southwick, Massachusetts, then Steel City in Delmont, Pennsylvania, September 3rd, and then the grand finale live on Speed from Pala Raceway in California on September the 10th. And we'll see if Dean Wilson can hold on to this points lead all the way through. Tyler Rattray, rough one today. Blake Baggett didn't get what he wanted, so Wilson is now the man to beat.
Round 9 is in the books from Unadilla. After a week off, Jason, Jeff, and Aaron are headed for the sands of Southwick for same-day coverage of MX 338. Don't go away, we're not done with our 250 coverage. Aaron gets the real story from the boys on the podium when the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship returns.
Welcome back to Unadilla. That's the Frog Pond. If you end up in that, you have made a huge mistake on the racetrack. If you end up on the podium, though, you're in great shape. And that's where we find Aaron Bates up on the stage. Aaron?
It was tough to leave here without making any type of mistakes today for all these riders, whether it be mechanical or not. But Blake, take us through, you said the minimal amount of mistakes is what it was going to take to succeed here today. You were trying to fight traction all day long. Did you succeed?
No, yeah, I definitely didn't succeed. I mean, second place, I'm pumped for that. But yeah, the track was just brutal, gnarly, super muddy this morning and soft, and then it got hard and kind of crusty, and then the rocks started coming in later. So searching for traction was, you know, I tried what I could, and we switched as much as we could, and nothing really made it excellent. So, you know, I got to give it to my team, though. Monster Energy, Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Vans, Volcom, Traxxas, SoCal Super Trucks, Dunlop, Scott, Alden Baker, my trainer, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. So we'll see if we can come and get them next weekend.
Here are your overall results here. Doesn't look like that bad of a day for Baggett, but when Wilson goes out there and lays a whooping on everybody like he did, he's definitely not going to be happy. And how about Bogle? Great performance, well up inside the top 10 in his first ever pro race. Let's send it back down to Aaron.
Eli Tomac said that he was refreshed when he came in after having a 2-week break. Eli, congratulations. You made it back up on the podium, and now you've got another weekend off. What can we expect to see from you in Southwick?
Well, I definitely like the sand, so that'll be fun, but this week was definitely awesome. We had a nice couple weeks off, so I got, you know, rested and recovered. And I finally got a good start there in the second moto and just made it happen and rode like my old self.
Congratulations on a job well done here today.
And check out your point standings. Now Wilson beginning to march away. The big loser on the day points-wise is Rattray, who definitely had a tough one. So what do you think now, Jeff?
Hey, incredible day here for Dean Wilson. He's the most laps led this season. He's got 7 moto wins. Now he's finally got an overall and over a 20-point lead.
Well, he kept the determination up. He didn't let the fact that he was getting second and third every week rattle him. Congratulations to Dean Wilson, who finally breaks through with an overall win. And really, the year hadn't been that bad. He was the darn points leader coming in. And now he's going to be even harder to stop for this championship run. We'll have a weekend off and join you again at Southwick. Hope you can catch us there. For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching, and congrats to Dean Wilson. Coming up next, the world's most prestigious motocross championship visits one of its legendary racetracks for the Rockstar Energy drink Unadilla National from New Berlin, New York. And we have never seen a championship battle like this. 3 riders nearly deadlocked at the top of the series, Chad Reed and Ryan Villopoto. They have been swapping race victories. And don't forget the defending champion, Ryan Dungey, who's sandwiched right between them in points. Fantastic racing coming up a little bit later. The 3 fastest motocross riders in the world are bunched together at the top of the championship standings. The series points leader, Kawasaki's Ryan Villapoto, is looking for a title in his first full season on a 450 machine. The defending champion, Suzuki's Ryan Dungey, looks to back up the championship here and as a rookie 1 year ago with another title in 2011. The veteran, Honda rider Chad Reed. The Australian rider is a master at overcoming adversity and coming out on top. 3 riders competing for one prestigious title. Round 9 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship gets underway right now from historic Unadilla. Ally, the Alliance of Action Sports presents the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. From the historic Unadilla Valley Sports Center in upstate New York, it's round 9 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, the Rockstar Energy Drink, Unadilla National. Hello everyone, Jason Wigan and Jeff Emig, your hosts for the best motocross racing in all the world. And we've already got a great race under our belts here in Moto 1. We'll show you the highlights from earlier today. A big surprise off the start. Justin Barcia on the number 17, his first race ever in this class, grabs the early lead, Jeff.
Yeah, and it was Ryan Villapoto, though, with a 5th place start that would start to work his way up front. He passes his teammate Jake Weimer. Ryan Dungey, the reigning champion, makes a mistake. Villapoto blows by, but look at Dungey, barely keeps the bike on the track.
So Dungey would have to regroup and go back after Jake Weimer. A great battle here. That will put Dungey up into 3rd, but a long way to go to catch the leaders. And speaking of the leaders, Justin Barcia has company. Here comes Ryan Villapoto.
And watch the commitment here by number 2, Villapoto, to the inside, takes the lead away from the rookie 450 rider.
So that would put Villapoto in the lead. The question was, could Dungey follow him through? He challenges Barcia late in the race.
Same spot, same result. Dungey gets by Barcia, but Barcia puts up a fight, and as they get into the lapped riders, they split these riders.
And Barcia would go to the inside. That would work ordinarily, but look at Dungey able to squirt by around the outside. He would take over the number 2 spot, but too little too late. Ryan Villapoto gets away early and wins the first moto. And we'll show the results. Great ride. Justin Barcia going to hang on for 3rd in his first race on a 450cc bike. The real damage, Chad Reed, formerly your series points leader, could not get going. He ends up in 4th. So with an exciting first moto already complete here at Unadilla, we ready ourselves for the second race today. And Jeff, Ryan Dungey, Chad Reed, they need to fight back against Ryan Villapoto or they're going to lose more ground in the championship.
Villapoto was pretty impressive in Moto 1, but I think Dungey knows that a second is as good as a first. Lost a couple points, but if he can win this second moto, he could tie it up or possibly gain the points. But it's Chad Reed, the one that really has to step it up. That first moto performance is not going to be good enough if he wants to keep himself in the title chase. And this season, on more than one occasion, we've seen Chad Reed bounce back from a 3rd, 4th, 5th in the first moto to come back and win Moto 2. So a lot of points up for grab and a lot on the line here, second moto at Unadilla.
And we'll show you exactly how the points turned out after that first moto. Ryan Dungey was 1 point down. He is now 4 behind Villapoto, but the big difference, Chad Reed goes from 9 points down to 16. So you're right, Chad Reed needs to make up some ground here in this second moto. For more, let's send it down to the starting line with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Tina Dixon.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Ryan Villapoto, who is the overall points leader right now, and you also took Moto 1. How do you carry that momentum into Moto 2, especially with the new bike?
Yeah, just get a good start. Everything worked out really well that first moto. The new bike was worked really good for us. So I think you know, we're sitting in a really good position. Just need a good start and you know, a solid 30+2.
And sitting in number 2 overall is Ryan Dungey right now. You won here last year on this track, but how much of a battle is it going to be between you guys? Are all so close.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's the track's really turned out to be pretty well. I think that last moto was good, and I think get up to a good start is going to be key, and just put down some good laps. You know, it's going to be a little bit rougher, a little drier, but see what we can do and have some fun.
All right, guys, so obviously start is key, and we're now going to make our way over to Chad Reed, who is getting prepped for his race. And Chad, you started off this season strong. In the last 2 rounds, you struggled a little bit, but coming into this race, what are the small changes that you need to make?
No, I just got to change up myself. You know, I think since Millville, I just been gun shy and just got to get out there, let that go, and go for it. And I'm disappointed in myself. So I've got to get a good starts there, and don't be around anybody else where you get stuck in their pace, and get out front and try to set my pace and try to win another race.
All right, best of luck. Guys?
Well, these fans are fired up. They've come to the fences to watch the best motocross riders in the world do battle. If you've never seen racing like this before, you're in for quite a show. So stay with us all afternoon. The Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship is brought to you by... Coming up next, don't miss defending Skate Street champion Paul Rodriguez and Action Sports Best as they invade the streets of Portland. It's the Portland Invitational, next on NBC. Welcome back to Unadilla, the doubleheader here of Ally Sports action. We'll have Motocross now and then the Sports Invitational from Portland coming up next. Let's give you the track map brought to you by Kawasaki and the all-new KX450F. Fully equipped and race ready. Take us on a tour of Unadilla, Jeff Emick.
Well, off the start, we're going to have this right-hander, and they've been watering the soil and disking it up. Then into gravity cavity, over the Lucas Oil finish, through some off-cambers, a couple of tabletops here. Then the track starts to open up and really speed up. This is where the rider's going to take some roost off the back of these 450 tires. Up through the Toyota trucks, step-up area. Of course, the Rockstar Sky Shot. And then you're going to make this tight right here down the wall. And this is a serious wall up and down. And let's go on board here with Nick Way, Valley Motorsports. This is brought to you by GoPro, where you can be a hero. And this is what we call the gravity cavity. Earlier today in qualifying practice, you launch down in, suspension G's out on the throttle, and you fly up through the finish line.
And that is a hard landing. And the rider who jumps the furthest can now take advantage of that. Now, Jeff, we're putting you on the spot here. We know at allysports.com you play in the fantasy game. Who are your picks this afternoon?
Yeah. Oh, I got Dungey, Reed, Byrne, Weimer, Craig, Dietrich, Les Smith, Sewell, and I spent $95 million on that. It's an expensive day for me. Expensive roster,
I didn't think that'd be that bad.
Yeah, but the problem is Villapoto won that first moto. He's getting all the key points here. We'll see if any of my team can rebound in Moto 2. It's going to be tough, though, because Villapoto looked pretty sharp.
And he's lined up to the inside, Jeff explained. A lot of times on a motocross track, you don't choose that first gate to the inside,
yeah,
but Villapoto has.
Yeah, you would line up more here towards the middle, but here he is on the inside. Let's see if he can pull the whole shot.
All right, one moto is complete today. Villapoto won it. Here is race number 2. And they're battling. Looks like Villapoto got pinched off on the inside. It's going to be Jake Weimer on the 32 and Micah Lessie on the number 800 out front.
Wow, I'm looking at this soil here, this mulch that we have in upstate New York. Incredible racing surface, but the rest of the track was not prepped, was not smoothed out, and you can see gnarly, nasty ruts here that the riders will have to negotiate here in a very difficult track in Moto 2.
Look at this pack fighting for it right now. You got the 17 of Barsha, who was a star earlier today in the first race. He is up to 3rd. Villapoto on the number 2, battling with Dungey, and in front of them, the number 10 of Justin Brayton.
And I believe the 2 of Villapoto has gotten around Dungey through that tight tree section.
We'll see if Dungey can respond over this big tabletop jump. Now they land, and you see the 32 of Weimer under fire now from the 17 of Barsha. A teenager out of New York, got a lot of fans cheering for him. Barsha wants the lead. To the inside he goes, and Weimer's got it covered.
And you see Justin Barsha switch up the line.
And he's trying to get Weimer, trying to get to that number 2 spot, while Leslie tries to get away in the number 1 spot. Then you got Villapoto and Dungey. So many riders all over this track trying to make passes.
Oh, and Barsha, a few riders there on that right-hand side of this stair-step area. You can see where the dark areas are. That's where they put down some water to minimize the dust, but it also makes it really hard and slippery.
Barsha has made the move now on Weimer, and Weimer under attack from his teammate Villapoto. All these riders, Jeff, they know you've got to get up front early, so these first laps, it is a battle right now. Villapoto going for 2nd immediately, and Barsha shuts the door, puts the bike right in front of him so he can't get by.
Villapoto is riding with some serious confidence right now and determination.
Look at that line. You're not supposed to be able to pass there, but Villopoto's going to try it. He pulls up alongside of Barsha and takes the second place spot. Unbelievable.
Riding way on the outside, trying to find the smooth lines. You notice they funnel right back down into one line, but Villopoto right now, I love what I'm seeing out of him, and in this position, he just is firing away. He's not wasting any time.
Neither is Dungey. Dungey has cleared the 32 of Weimer. He knows he's got to get the 17 of Barsha. He cannot let Villopoto get away.
Jason, clearly in Moto 1, it was Villopoto and Dungey. Both riders set the fastest lap times, 2:05s, and as we come around right now, track much slower. Alessi at 2:12 out front, but it was Villopoto with a 2:11. I'm not sure they're going to be able to match that 2:05, but what I'm sure is I believe the 1 can match the 2's speed, but Barsha is in between.
Yes.
Okay, so Dungey right here, sense of urgency, he's got to get past Barsha and put on a charge, because if they allow Villopoto to get out front like in Moto 1, he may just check out.
The way these guys are battling in the first lap, you'd think this is a sprint race, but you look at the clock at the top of the screen, folks, it's a 30-minute and 2-lap race, so plenty of time to make things happen. Meanwhile, Villopoto has made it happen. He has gone past Alessi and into the lead. So Villopoto has passed about 5 riders on the opening lap and a half, trying to take off here at Unadilla.
He's inspired. He's obviously comfortable and more confident here. Kawasaki taking a little risk, going with the 2012 machine, and it is definitely paying off at this point.
And Alessi having a rough ride, being bumped around on these massive obstacles here at Unadilla. He has lost ground, and this is going to allow Villopoto to race his own race, Jeff. And how much of an advantage is it to be up front like this?
Oh, at this point, really, because he's got a clear track, not use any tear-offs. He can get into his pace. Dungey, if he wants to get up there close to Villopoto, he still has to work his way past Alessi and a very quick Justin Barsha.
It is not going to be easy. This is going to be a good one. So stay with us as Alessi, Barsha, Dungey, Reed, Weimer, Metcalf, and the best of the motocross world battle for victory here at Unadilla. There's the mechanics area. They're pretty nervous. This race is just getting started, but it is close already. Battle is on here. Second, third, fourth, all up for grabs. You're watching NBC Sports live coverage of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. The man with the #1 on the yellow bike is Ryan Dungey. He won this race last year. He won the championship last year. He's riding well this year, but the competition has definitely stepped up around him, especially today.
Yeah, it has, and he's trying to chase down a rookie to this class. Justin Barsha, 17, riding that red factory Honda. His first ride on a 450 here today. His starts have been the key thing to put him in a good position.
And then he took advantage of that good position to take over second. Take us through this, Jeff.
Watch Barsha to the inside, just hammers the throttle, and you know he's got to love having the power of that 450 after riding the smaller engine, the 250, for most of his career here.
So that drops Alessi to third and then quickly fourth. Here comes Dungey around the outside.
Yeah, just finding the smooth line right now, carrying some more momentum, and this inside has really got a hook in it. It has not been working here in the second moto.
And explain what that hook is there that Alessi ran into.
Yeah, you go into the turn instead of a nice smooth apex around the turn. It's got a little hit to it. Stops your momentum. The question is now that Dungey has worked himself up into third is can he get past Barsha, and can he make a move on Ryan Villopoto? Because Villopoto is out front, setting a 2:08 lap time. And Dungey comes by with a 2:09.
Let's talk about these two. You got Jake Weimer, that's Ryan Villopoto's teammate on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. They're debuting a brand new bike today, that 2012, and it has paid off. Weimer riding, I'd say, his best races of the year. A great performance in Moto 1, strong in Moto 2, and look who he's holding off. Chad Reed, the man who led the series standings all the way up until our previous race on the tour. Reed just can't seem to get the rhythm back.
Yeah, and that's really what it's about. And I loved his comment there when Tina was with him, and he told us straight up, this is the deal. I've got a little block in my head. Mentally, my horrific crash from Millville is it's taking its toll on me, and I need to unlock that, and it's all him. bike, team, everything's great. It's the mental side of it here that is now so important for Chad Reed if he wants to get himself back in this title chase.
Well, the first thing he's got to do is try to get around Weimer, and today Weimer has proven awfully tough to pass. Reed knows it firsthand. Here we go uphill.
I've been really impressed with Weimer here today, and you know, oh, here we go.
Got to be impressed with Dungey over that big sky shot. Draws up alongside Barsha. Barsha likes this inside line. Oh, but he makes a mistake. Will that open the door for Dungey?
Dungey made the same mistake, different line, wheel to wheel. Now Dungey's got a little line. Can he go down the inside?
Oh, and it's so hard to stop for this corner. You see them locking up the brakes, both able to negotiate it, but Dungey not able to take advantage of that mistake by Barsha. He's still in the number 3 spot.
But Dungey always is just so patient and so strategic, okay? He doesn't seem to have a sense of urgency, and I think that you misread how bad he wants the championship and how hard he's working for it. But you can definitely see a difference, whereas the beginning of the race, the first 2 laps, Villopoto, he was a madman, passing riders instantly, not waiting. Dungey settling into a pace, taking his time. The problem is that Villopoto not only is he out front, but he's out front setting the fastest lap times. So it's really hard to catch the guy when he's doing that. Villopoto turned to 2:07. Barsha and Dungey at 2:10. So now Dungey already 12 seconds behind the leader.
Tina, what do you have down there trackside?
Well, you guys are talking about the fast lap times of Villopoto, and I talked to Mike Fisher, who's the team manager over at Kawasaki, about why the change of bike so late in the game, and he said, it's this simple, it's a better bike. Villopoto's times on the laps improved. In fact, the times in a longer period improved. And from the time Villopoto left the truck to the track, he liked it immediately, and that's why the change.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier that I thought that Kawasaki took a risk, and the risk is using a new bike with very little time on it. They obviously are very confident in this machine, because only one time that I can remember when Grant Langston was on that Yamaha, they put him on a new bike, the next year's bike, before the previous year was over. Kawasaki is obviously confident with what they've done. Jake Weimer is having the best day of the season. Okay, to me, he looks more confident. And Villopoto, well, he's out front, won the first one. He's led the most laps today. He's led the most laps this year. So a lot of good stuff happening for that Monster Energy Kawasaki team.
Yeah, Chad Reed doesn't want to hear anything about that. He's on the red bike, the Honda, and he just wants to get around Weimer. He would like to be up there battling Weimer's teammate Villopoto for the lead, but it has not come together for the 29-year-old from Australia today. But here he goes to the inside on Weimer.
This line's good, too. If he can double over, it's going to be a drag race to the top of the hill.
Reed's going to have the inside of the next corner. Will he push Weimer all the way wide? No. This allows Weimer to get back on him. Downhill we go.
Oh, and Weimer gets out in the soft stuff. Oh, Reed goes down.
Unbelievable. Reed had the pass made and goes down. He's going to get passed also by the number 10 of Brayton. There goes Metcalf. And that's the kind of day it has been for Chad Reed. Unbelievable. Championship points just slipping through his fingers with that. He had the pass complete. Take us through this.
Yeah, watch. He gets down here, gets in pretty clean, and rut kind of breaks away right in this area here, and rear wheel kind of skips over, and you can see the riders actually, the whole line changed right then by Reed blowing that berm out.
And meanwhile, smooth sailing for Ryan Villopoto, who continues to set fast, smooth laps on a very, very rough racetrack. About an hour away from Syracuse University. So if you want to come up here next year, plenty of great things to see. Not only the Carrier Dome, but the entire campus grounds. Cooperstown, New York, not too far from here either. Come see us next year. Nearly 30,000 fans lining the hillsides here at Unadilla, watching the best motocross riders race the best motocross bikes. But check out some riders driving in off-road trucks. Check this out.
All right, we're here at Lucas Oil Short Course Off-Road Race.
Sounded like a fun idea and a good way to go spend an off weekend having fun racing. And next thing you know, I'm in the truck, strapped in, and here we are.
Ricky, you've had a chance to get out there a couple times. How you liking it?
Yeah, it's good. You know, I've had like 2 practice days in the truck, and feeling it out. It's a lot of fun. It's harder than it looks.
I'm excited. I figured I got a roll cage. That should be all right. Yeah, all you got to do is tighten them seatbelts down and flip over. At least you know you're not going to.
Well, one thing you do need to know is this paperwork to have you sign is you're liable for the damages. So it could get expensive if you get too sketchy.
Had a incident in a corner out there, ended up rolling I think like twice in a corner and put her up on edge. We broke a tie rod, so I wasn't able to finish. It's all fun. It's all racing. It's you know, I'm a competitive person, so no matter what it is, enduro cross, you know, trucks, it's all fun for me.
All right, Ricky Dietrich right now is running 10th in this race and Nick Way in 12th. So that's the teammates on that Rockstar Valley Motorsports Yamaha team, showing they can get it done on 4 wheels as well as 2. These guys like to race, no doubt. You give them an off weekend, they will find somewhere to do battle. Justin Barcia continues to hold off Ryan Dungey. This is a race for the number 2 position today. And Barcia, 19 years old, is riding like a veteran, even though it's his first race ever in this 450 class.
First race, second moto, obviously. What I'm impressed with is they now have up to pace. It's the fastest pace on the track, faster than Villapoto last lap around by about a half a second. And that tells me that Barcia fending off the charge here by Ryan Dungey, but it's, oh, look at that big mistake there by Dungey. The rear wheel skipping out on him a bit.
And Barcia, in the 250 class where he normally rides, is known as being one of the most aggressive riders out there. He'll block you, he'll bump you. I don't know if he's going to play that way with Dungey since he doesn't factor into this championship, but he's definitely making it difficult for him to pass.
It's factoring in at the moment because it's allowing Dungey, or making Dungey, work for a second place and let the leader pull away, you know, so. And also, Dungey's taking a little more chances than normal. As we look at the top of the screen there's 10 minutes, about 10:30 plus 2 laps to go in this moto.
Right.
And like I said earlier, it's not guaranteed that Dungey's going to be able to make his way past him, not at the pace that Barcia is running right now, and that could be he could play a real spoiler in the points chase.
And point out what Dungey is dealing with by being stuck behind Barcia is the roost. Talk about that.
Well, the roost and the energy, having to ride so much harder and take more chances. And Villapoto already passed the finish line here at the top of Gravity Cavity. He backed it back down to a 209, and Barcia comes by with the 210. So now they've kind of swapped it up a little bit, and Dungey a 211. So now he lost a couple more seconds on the leader.
And that roost is the debris being kicked up by the back tires. And at this track, most of the riders say it hurts more than just about any other place we race.
Well, there's these little small rocks in this. Well, and there's some big ones in there too, but they've done a good job over the years of keeping the topsoil, taking it and putting it back on the race surface. And in qualifying practice, it's really mulchy and it's really nice. But now that the track is starting to harden up a little bit, the rocks kind of find their way to the top. So now the roost becomes more rocky than it is mulchy and, you know, mud.
Does that mean it hurts more?
Oh, yeah.
And the guy feeling it right now is the number 10 of Justin Brayton. He is close to the back of the 32 of Jake Weimer. This is a battle for 5th, and not too far behind them is the number 24 of Brett Metcalf, and they are all in front of Chad Reed, who went down. He was leading this group. He crashed. The 3 of them got by Reed. So basically a 4-rider duel for the number 5 position. Brayton on the Muscle Milk Toyota Joe Gibbs Racing Yamaha, and the Monster Energy Kawasaki of Weimer. And then it's the Rockstar Suzuki of Metcalf. So a lot of different teams and manufacturers looking for a piece of the top 5 today. Great race here between 3 riders, Justin Brayton, Jake Weimer, and Brett Metcalf for 5th. There you see them all hopping, skipping, jumping up this big uphill in upstate New York's Unadilla Valley Sports Center. Weimer here putting in one of his best rides of the year, but he did lose a spot to Brayton while we are away at break. Take us through this one, Jeff.
Here, Brayton following Weimer in, and it's Weimer's mistake here exiting the turn. as he misses his line, gets a little high sides. He's not able to double cleanly up on that little step-up double. Brayton hits it perfectly, just puts the power to the ground, makes the pass.
All right, so you got the Yamaha of Brayton in front of the Kawasaki of Weimer, and now the Suzuki of Metcalf. Oh, and Brayton has gone down, and all that work he put in to get to 5th, he's just throwing it away, and Chad Reed says thank you very much. Remember, Reed crashed there earlier in the photo. Yeah,
same spot. It looks like Brayton there, his clutch lever, which is on the left side of the handlebars, the bracket it's been bent up, so he's trying to hammer that back down and put his clutch lever position in the right spot.
Hey folks, be sure to check out AllyMotoshop.com. That's your home for official series and rider merchandise for AMA Pro Motocross. They carry rider t-shirts from the likes of Trey Kennard, that man right there, Chad Reed, Ryan Dungey, Andrew Short, and your race leader Ryan Villapoto, amongst others, and a lot of other great motocross products. So if you want to get to the track and get ready, go to the AllyMotoshop.com. Chad Reed will gladly take the gift position from Justin Brayton, but at the beginning of the year, it seemed like Reed was always able to rebound when he needed to. Unfortunately, today here at Unadilla, he's not been able to do it. You see, he would not even be in the top 5 in overall points for the day right now. So Reed, it's getting into desperation time. He can ill afford to lose much more ground in the championship to the likes of Villapoto and Dungey.
Yeah, and Reed came into the day 9 points off the lead, and at one point he had close to a 20-point lead.
Metcalf has caught up to Weimer again. So now it's a battle for 5th after we've lost Brayton from this train. Metcalf is a veteran out of Australia. Actually finished 2nd in this series last year to Dungey. Struggled a bit through the first half of the year, but he has been riding strong in the latter stages of 2011. And Weimer knows it because everywhere he goes, Metcalf is right there applying the pressure.
Boy, relentless at this point, and Weimer just taking the roost off the back, or Metcalf taking the roost off the back of Weimer's bike. And you can see he's really looking around, trying to find some new lines as the track is really rutted up. It gets bumps in it, it gets ruts in it, and it makes it hard.
Whoa, they come together, and they both go down. I believe that was incidental contact, and Reed may pick up more positions. He does. So Chad Reed got what he was looking for. Who's going to get up first?
Looks like Metcalf has a little problem. Oh, there's more hay bales down.
And Brayton missed the line because Weimer was there, so Brayton might get the 2 positions back that he lost when he crashed. What a race here.
And it looked like to me that Metcalf, he fell on the right side of the bike and that there was an issue with the throttle. Now, normally if it falls in hard, it pushes the throttle housing and all that in, and the throttle will stick. So it looked like he was hammering on his bike a lot like Brayton was, trying to bend the clutch lever back into the right area.
So all 4, those riders in that battle, Reed, Brayton, Weimer, Metcalf have all crashed. These two riders are putting in solid rides. No crashes for them. The positions haven't changed either. It's still Barcia and Dungey. Take us through this Metcalf and Weimer battle.
Yeah, Weimer goes to square it up, and the rear tire squirts out just a little bit off the top of the berm, and Metcalf was just going to kind of roll next to him through the berm, through that turn, and small mistake. I do believe that it was, incidental.
Unbelievable. So Reed's going to pick up a few spots. Dungey unable to pick up this 1 spot. He has been behind Barcia the whole way, and we got to give credit to the 19-year-old Justin Barcia in his first race in motocross on a big 450 is riding amongst the best in the world and doing a great job of it. An amazing ride for this kid right here, the number 17 of Justin Barcia. He's a New York native, although he does make his racing and training home down in Georgia. The Honda team called him up from the 250 class to the premier 450 division for this race because everyone else on the team was out with injuries. And he has ridden a spectacular race. He is in 2nd place and is holding off the defending champion, Ryan Dungey.
Yeah, fantastic ride for Barcia, but this thing's been like a slinky. It's been back and forth. Just when Barcia stretches it out, it closes back up, and Dungey looked like he was at the point where he's going to make a pass, and then he tries some new lines. The ruts here at Unadilla have got the best of him, and he made another mistake. You can see he's a few bike links off the pace now. And for Ryan Dungey, frustration is now setting in. Just a little over 2 laps to go, and he's having trouble making it past the rookie at this point.
All right, lots to watch here at Unadilla. Trax is the fastest name in radio control. Invited the Valley Motorsports Rockstar Yamaha team to take a spin in some of these RC cars yesterday. Fans got to check this action out as well. Veteran riders Jimmy Albertson, Nick Way, and Ricky Dietrich were the rookies behind the remote controls. Didn't take them long to get these high-performance RC cars to rip through the dirt and fly through the air in spectacular form. They're doing backflips with the cars. Traxxas is the official sponsor of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. These guys had a whole bunch of fun. I was over there watching. I was hoping that they would maybe, give me a chance at it. But I don't think I could pry.
Were you doing the play-by-play?
Had to save myself for this. I mean, we got a good battle going right down to the end. And Dungey is still digging to try to get by Barsha, and he still can't make it happen.
And you'll notice some of the flaggers have the blue flags that they're waving on the side of the track. That's to let the lap riders, like the 851 here.
That's Phillips.
To let him know that the leading group is coming through. Now, of course, Villapoto is already out front. He's already lapped these riders, but this is the lead group, and so it's a courtesy flag. There's no real rule about it if you stay in the line, but it is a courtesy to other riders. And some of these riders taking a look back, seeing the leaders come through, clearing the fast line. But sometimes that's hard to do, and sometimes the lappers play a key part in the overall results.
Well, yeah, because the riders are catching up to here. The 67 of Travis Stool, you saw he's in 17th. He's not going to pull over and stop. He's in a race of his own.
And you know what? Villapoto last lap around turned to 2:16. Barsha and Dungey were 2:12. They've now closed it up to within 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So not sure what has happened with Villapoto, but lap and a half to go. He needs to get going.
Well, he's stuck behind some of the riders who are about to go a lap down as well. The 942, the Australian Ty Simmons, in Villapoto's way just a bit there. And that Barsha-Dungey battle is beginning to draw closer to Villapoto. And fitness is definitely going to be a factor on this rough track.
Yeah, and just when you think that Villapoto has a nice, comfortable lead, you've got a two-rider battle that has been really intense. Each rider has just given it their all in this moto, and very little mistakes out of that second and third group. But a nice sight here for Villapoto when he sees the white flag. You'll know that there's only one more lap left on this extremely difficult Unadilla racetrack.
There's Barsha not too far back here in the last lap, and he continues to hold Dungey at bay. This championship is...
Barsha off the track.
And he manages to get back on. Now, the rule is as long as you don't gain an advantage from going off the track, if you re-enter where you were, you will not be penalized. And he re-entered right where he was, right in front of Dungey. So he's okay. Here comes Dungey. Last lap, they almost touched. They're down. Barsha down. Unbelievable. Barsha ran such a spectacular race. And in the last lap, he might throw the podium position away. Can he get up and hold on for a top three? Wow.
Barsha remounts the Honda. I am surprised. That looked like a really hard hit that Barsha took as he tried to jump to the left into the main line, but Dungey already had the momentum.
He is lucky to get away from that unscathed. Let's take us through it, Jeff.
Yeah, watch as Barsha tries to jump to the inside to block Dungey, but he's there. Look at that. Oh, Barsha, surprising that he even gets up because there's so much momentum coming down that jump, but just kind of slid out of it. Really lucky fall that he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, and it helps to be the 19-year-old wild child. He's pretty flexible. He's pretty tough. We've seen him take some big hits. And all this going on, Ryan Villapoto doesn't know a thing about it.
I mean, think about that for Dungey, too. I mean, if that had gone the opposite way, they could have just thrown away the title there. Wow.
Well, here's the story on a very difficult racetrack here in upstate New York, arguably the toughest that they will face all year. Almost everyone in the top 10 has gone down at some point. Dungey barely escaped. Barsha's had a crash. Reed has had a crash. Weimer, Brayton. So many riders. The man who was consistent throughout this race that minimized the mistakes is Ryan Villapoto.
And my question was, by Kawasaki switching to the 2012 bike, how would Ryan Villapoto be at the end of Moto 2? Because that's where he's had a little struggle.
No problem at all. Absolutely.
Led the most laps. He dominates Unadilla.
Undefeated on the new bike, Ryan Villapoto wins Unadilla by taking both of the two motos. And Ryan Dungey able to escape with a second-place finish, but he was lucky with that one because Justin Barsha gave him everything he had in a fantastic race down to the finish. Stay with us.
All
All right, thanks, Todd. I know Todd's a big motocross fan. He probably wishes he was here, and just as we could wish we could watch the Dew Tour out there in Portland. Meanwhile, Ryan Villopoto has won both motos here at Unadilla. He is your overall winner today. He makes the math very easy by sweeping the 2 races. We'll show you the race recap and tell you exactly how he did it. Here's the real battle. First, Ryan Villopoto at the top of the screen takes over the lead from Mike Alessi. Behind them, you got Justin Barcia and Ryan Dungey, and those two have battled throughout the day. Here's Chad Reed trying to make his way through traffic. He gets around Jake Weimer to take over 5th and then goes down. Man, so Reed gives over a handful of championship points. You don't think he's going to get those back, right? But watch this. Jake Weimer and Brent Metcalf crash together. And by the time they untangle themselves, Reed on the red bike is going to cruise through and make up a little bit of ground. Then late in the race, Justin Barcia goes off the track. He's under pressure from Ryan Dungey, and then they come together on the landing of a jump, and Barcia goes down hard. Luckily, the 19-year-old was able to get up and salvage 3rd. Ryan Villopoto wins the race. Dungey escapes with a 2nd place finish. We'll show you the results here. The Ryans sweep it again. They have been 1-2 the last couple of races. This time, though, it's Villopoto getting the edge over Dungey, who had won the last 2 races on the tour. Great finish for Barcia. Reed salvages a 5th. Let's send it down to the podium with Tina Dixon.
Thanks, and Ryan, there were people questioning your decision to change bikes so late in the game. How would you sum it up for you, though? It's your birthday, and to win not only the first moto, but finally the 2nd moto where you've had problems.
Yeah, you know, it's awesome. The team came to us and said, hey, we have this option. You know, Europe's running it, and we said, yeah, let's try it, because we were struggling, and we tried it, and we never looked back from then. As soon as we rode it, we knew that it was better. We worked on it, and you know, I just can't thank everybody at Monster Energy Kawasaki. You know, Dunlop Tires, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Oakley, you know, my trainer, my fiance, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Well, congratulations, happy birthday, and enjoy this win.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, he's happy. He's got the points lead. That's a heck of a gift for your birthday. He'll continue to carry that red plate into the upcoming rounds of the tour. And let's show you some upcoming events on the Ally Sports schedule with NBC. Of course, coming up next, the Portland Invitational. Then it's the Toyota Challenge on September 10th and the 11th. And the Dew Tour Championships in Las Vegas in October. Check it all out at allysports.com, and we'll be right back with more motocross from upstate New York when we return live on NBC. Nearly 30,000 fans on hand here to watch the action at Unadilla. Here are your overall results after 2 races are tabulated. Villopoto, Dungey, Barcia make the math easy. Reed and Alessi inside the top 5. Let's send it back down to the podium with Tina.
That's right, and Ryan, you were hanging in 3rd for most of the race, but talk about that crash when Barcia went down. What did you see?
I don't know, you know, just trying to make the pass, and I don't know, but just really tried to ride a good race. You know, I got stuck behind there for the whole race, but it's a little disappointing. But, you know, we got another weekend off. I think we can work on a few things, and but overall on the day, I'm happy. You know, we pushed it, and days like today, you know, we need to make the most of it. But, you know, for the most part, we had fun. Thank you, Team Rockstar, Miki Suzuki, everybody, and all fans and family.
Congrats for finishing up on the podium.
And Dungey tries to keep his chin up, but he's not happy to come out here and finish 2nd to Villopoto and go from 1 point back in the series now to 7. And Chad Reed, 25 points back. You win at a moto, you only win 25 points. So he's got a big gap to make up. Let's send it back down to the podium with the new kid, Justin Barcia.
That's right, Justin. You were in 2nd for most of the race. Crashing there at the end, what happened?
Yeah, it was a crazy race for sure. First 450 race, I was trying really hard. Mine and Dungey's line came together. There was a lap around the other side. Couldn't go anywhere. He kind of clipped the side of me, and we had a pretty hard crash for me anyway. I think he's got some sore feelings, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But go back home, train hard, come back 2 weeks. Southwick, one of my favorite tracks, and just the whole Honda team. I'm so pumped to be on that team and for them to give me that opportunity.
Best of luck moving forward.
We have got a new player in the 450 division of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, and he's only going to get better and better. Coming up next, of course, don't miss defending Skate Street champion Paul Rodriguez and Action Sports Best as they invade the streets of Portland. It's the Portland Invitational. Next at NBC, we got an Ally Sports doubleheader here, and the first half is pretty much complete. Jeff, what do you think of the racing at Unadilla today?
It's been incredible. They've made some changes to the track. The surface was just, it was just fantastic for racing here today. It was challenging for the riders, and of course this huge crowd that we have on hand was treated to a pretty interesting 450 Moto there.
In the rugged sport of motocross, it's often the rider that makes it look the easiest that comes out on top, and that's what Ryan Villopoto did today, avoiding the crashes and mistakes that plagued this competition. So congratulations to the kid from Washington who's got the victory. And thank you for watching. For Tina Dixon and Jeff Emig, I'm Jason Wygant. We'll catch you next time as Ally Sports continues their coverage on NBC. Stay with us. The Portland Invitational up next.
And Lucas Oil Products is pledging to donate 100,000 meals through the No Kid Hungry organization, helping struggling families. Because as schools shut their doors in response to COVID-19, a lot of kids are left without high-quality meals that would normally be provided by school. So Lucas Oil will donate meals, and all you have to do to help is share the official campaign post. You'll find it on Lucas Oil's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So Lucas Oil will donate one meal for each person that shares the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family over social media. Again, share the official campaign post and hashtag Lucas Oil Family on social media, and up to 100,000 meals will be donated through the No Kid Hungry organization. You can find Lucas Oil on Facebook at official Lucas Oil, Twitter at Lucas_oil, and Instagram at Lucas Oil Products.